Hey family, warmest of welcomes. Welcome back to Underdogs Rise with myself, Christopher Griffiths. This is season 4, and number 4 holds a real special meaning in my heart. And it's been an absolute privilege to get to this stage with the podcast. And I hope you really enjoy this episode. So this episode we're going to be stepping into something that will quietly change the life if you actually live it. And this is something that I'm wanting to embody myself. I am just on this journey with you every step of the way. The title of this episode is to act from truth, not from mood. And this is something that even today, just before I've started to talk to you and talk down this microphone, my mood has affected me. And I want this to land with you for a moment. To act from truth and not from mood. Because most people, without even realising it, are living the other way around. And that includes myself. They act from mood and then wonder why their life feels inconsistent. Here's the reality. Your mind is emotional first, not logical, not strategic, not disciplined, emotional. That means your first reaction to anything, whether it's opportunity, discomfort, challenge, or growth, it's filtered through how you feel in that moment. I don't feel like it. I'm not in the right headspace. And I'll do it when I'm more motivated. That's not truth talking. That's mood. And mood is unstable by design. Mood changes with sleep. Mood changes with stress. Mood changes with what someone said to you this morning. And mood changes with the weather. So if your actions are tied to mood, your life will always be inconsistent. You'll start things but not finish them, and that is the story of my life. You'll feel inspired but not follow through. You'll know what to do but hesitate, even when it matters. And this is not because you're incapable. But because you've trained. And you've trained your mind, maybe without even realising, to wait for the right feeling before you move. But truth doesn't fluctuate. Truth is stable. Truth says, I said I would do this, so I'm going to do it. This matters to me. So I'm showing up. This is who I'm becoming, regardless of how I feel today. Truth doesn't need motivation. Truth requires alignment. Now here's where it gets deeper, because I know some of you are thinking, even myself, if I don't feel it, won't it be forced? Great question. And this is where some people can get it wrong, just like I have many times over. There's a difference between forcing change and allowing change. Forcing change sounds like, I need to be different now. I have to fix everything immediately. I can't feel like this anymore. That energy is tense, it's impatient, and it's driven by resistance. And we have all experienced resistance. We know how it feels. And that resistance creates friction. And if you're anything like me, you end up fighting for yourself. But when you give yourself the permission just to allow that change, that's different. Allowing sounds like, I'm committed to becoming this person, and I'll take the next step today. I don't feel great, but I still move forward calmly. I trust the process, even if I don't see the results yet. And here's the beautiful thing. There's no panic in that. There's no rush. Just steady movement. And here's the paradox. When you stop forcing change, change happens faster. Why? And this is a question that I've been asking myself. And I still have moments where I go off track and I get myself back on track. And that happens multiple times a day, every single day. And why this change happens is because you're no longer creating internal conflict. You're not trying to rip yourself out of who you are. You're guiding yourself into who you're becoming, who you've always known that you would be. Let me bring this down to real life. Say you're committed to doing something. Your podcast, your fitness, your growth, or your discipline. And one day you wake up and you just don't feel like it. Old pattern. You know what, I'll skip today. I'll come back when I'm feeling better. That's your mood leading. And this is something that I have become more aware of myself. A new pattern. You pause. You breathe. And you say, what's true here? Not what do I feel? What's true? Truth might be, this matters to me. I said that I would be consistent. One step today keeps my momentum alive. So you act, not aggressively, not forcefully, just deliberately. And here's the shift that changes everything. You don't need to feel powerful. You act powerfully. You don't need to feel confident. You take confident action. You don't need to feel ready. And you don't need to feel ready just to begin. Our mood says wait, but our truth says to move. Just to move. Most people are waiting to feel that they may never come consistent. And become consistent with whatever they've promised themselves that day. And that is waiting. They delay their life, just like I have. But you're building something different. You're building identity. And identity is not built with how you feel. It's built on what you repeatedly do, day in and day out. So every time you act from truth instead of mood, you're casting a vote for a person you're becoming, and that vote matters. Not once, but over and over and over and over again. Until that vote deeply resonates with you. And here's something powerful to understand. And this is something that I have to reflect on too. Your emotions are not the enemy. They're signals. They're feedback. They're information. But they are not instructions. Our thoughts and our moods aren't facts. Just because you feel tired doesn't mean to stop. Just because you feel doubt doesn't mean that you need to quit. Just because you feel resistant doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path. Sometimes it just means you're exactly where you need to be. Just let that land for a minute. Sometimes it just means that you're exactly where you need to be. So instead of trying to eliminate your emotions, just learn to sit with them. Acknowledge them. But don't hand over control. You can feel uncertainty and still act with certainty. You could feel low and still take that step forward. You could feel off and still honour your word. That's power, not loud power, not performative power. Quiet, grounded, unshakable, undeniable power that comes from you. And when you start living this way, something subtle but profound happens. In those moments, you begin to trust yourself. Because you're no longer dependent on mood. You're asking yourself, do I feel like it today? But you're telling yourself, this is who I am and this is what I do. And over time, that consistency builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds identity, and identity changes your life. So today, family, my fellow underdogs, keep it simple. Don't try and overhaul everything. Just notice the moment where mood tries to lead. And in that moment, pause and ask yourself, what's true? What's true for me? And then act from that, calmly, deliberately, without force, without drama. Because you don't need to become someone else overnight. You just need to take one step. And that step is taken from truth. And remember, you don't rise by feeling different. You rise by acting different. This is Underdogs Rise, and we rise together.